Hello viewers, in this video we'll look into VLOOKUP function, HLOOKUP function, and then how we can use match function in VLOOKUP or HLOOKUP to get it more optimized. Okay, now this is one of the important function in Excel because if you want to search for data, in that case we use this VLOOKUP function. Okay, so to make it easy to understand when we should use VLOOKUP function and when we should not use it, I have this sheet with me. Now, in this case, I have two cases, the first one and the below one. Now, assume that I have two tables, this left one and the right one. Okay. Now, what is needed or what I need to do is, I have this small table where employee code, employee name, date of joining, region, branch, department, 4 to 5 columns are there. Now, from this table, I want to extract data for these columns for these employee codes. Yeah, so for these employee codes I want to check here and find like which employee codes matches where, and for that respective employee code the respective fields information I want to put fetch and put it over here. Okay, so how could we do this? Now in the first scenario, if you see employee codes are exactly matching or as of the employee codes found here, so you don't have to write any function here. You can simply copy and paste this information. Why? Because employee codes are, I mean, the records are same. So you can copy this and simply paste it here and you can get the information. No need of writing or typing any function like VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP or whatever kind of function. Okay, it's a simple task of copy and paste because these values are exactly same as of what are found in your uh, source table. So here I could call this as a source table, right? From which I'm going to pull my data. Now, similar scenario I have below, which is scenario number 2. Now, in this case, what is said, like here we have a left side table where employee code, name, date of joining, region, branch, departments are the columns. And now in table 2, I want to extract data for these fields, okay, for these employee codes. Now, see, these employee codes are not same as what are found here. I mean, they are not in proper sequence. They are randomly taken numbers, so they are not exactly same as of what is there in table 1. Okay, so in this scenario where you don't have numbers in proper sequence or they are taken randomly, they are available randomly. Okay, or I could make it very simple. If I have very big table, now here for simplicity I have used only 10 records, but it might be 10,000 records or 10,100 records. So if I have many records on my table and from that big table I want to extract data for a couple of employee codes in this case. So in such cases we use VLOOKUP. So what we are going to do in this, these numbers will be looked here in this column, and wherever the respective number matches for that particular record, that the respective field information will be pulled out and will be populated in this table. That is the meaning of VLOOKUP. Okay, now why VLOOKUP? Actually, that is lookup, but then here we call it as VLOOKUP. Why VLOOKUP? Because if you see the source table, as in table 1, now table 1 we can call it as source table. Why? Because from that table we want to extract the data. Okay, so source table is vertical table. If you see in this case, the table is in the form of columns. We have column 1, column 2, column 3, all these columns combines to form that table. Okay, the data is vertical in its nature, and because the data is vertical, the source table is vertical, we have to use VLOOKUP. Okay, later on we'll see where my source table is horizontal, we'll be using HLOOKUP also. Okay, that's coming on next sheet, but at the moment whenever your data is vertical, we have to use VLOOKUP function. Okay, now how to apply VLOOKUP function? So let's understand that. Now, before getting into VLOOKUP function and before understanding how to give the parameters and get the information, let's understand what parameters are expected there. First parameter is lookup value. Now, what is lookup value now? Lookup value is a value for which you are going to search the information. So here I can ask myself like what information I want. I want information for like employee name, date of joining, region, branch, department. For whom? Okay, for this person. So for these values, I want to search the information. So that's why those values are called as lookup values. Remember, if I say this is my source table and this is my destination table means where I want to populate the information. So my lookup values will be found in destination table, because those are the values for which I want to search the information. Okay, and the table in which I'm going to look that information or search that information, that's called as table array, or here we can, in layman terms, we can call it source table, but it's technically as per this function, it is called as table array. What is table array? It's collection of rows and columns. Okay, rows and columns, collection of cells. That's called as table array. Okay, now one thing we need to understand carefully, these lookup values, okay, the column for which the lookup value belongs, like employee code, it should be the first column on my table array, which is what is happening here. Like if you say employee code is the first column, if there are some other columns on left of this employee code, in that case you need to select table arrays starting from employee code. If there are any other columns on left of employee code, we need to ignore those. VLOOKUP cannot work on the columns that are appearing on left side of your lookup value field. Like these are my lookup values. So these values in your table array, wherever they are, okay, VLOOKUP can get you data only for the columns on right side of it. Cannot get data from left side of that lookup value. Okay, and that's the reason your table array must have first column as the lookup value field. So if these are my lookup values and this is my lookup value field. Okay, so that must be first field. On the right of it, it could be many fields. You may have multiple fields there, not an issue, but first field has to be lookup value. Okay, if there are many other columns, any other columns on left of it, you need to ignore it. You need to start selection of table array from lookup value field. Okay, that's a very important point one should consider. Okay, so what I'll do here, we'll say equals VLOOKUP. First parameter is lookup value. Now in this case, lookup value is this. Okay, now I need to ensure that when I copy my formula down, this J18 should become J19, J20, and so on. But when I copy my formula on the right side to get data for these fields, J18 should not become K18, meaning this reference should not come on the right side. And that's why I'm adding dollar, or I could say I'm converting this into mixed reference, where I is fixed, so that J is fixed. Okay, and okay, this will write, yeah, this one. So in this case, that J is fixed and 18 is changeable. 18 can become 19, 20, and so on. Okay, but if you are not aware of this concept, absolute references, relative references, you'll find I button at top of this video. You can click on it, understand that it will take you to that particular video, understand that concept properly, and then you can come back to this video and watch it so that it becomes easy for you to understand. Okay, the concept what we are using here, it's your references, absolute reference, relative reference, and mixed reference. That's the video which covers this information. Anyways, for now, lookup value, I consider this as a $J18, comma, table array. Now what is table array? Table array is this whole table. So I'll click at first cell, control shift right and down, the whole table is selected. Okay, now see, this is a function. I'm going to copy my function down as well as on right side. I need to ensure that this reference which I'm considering for table array should also not move down, because when I, by default in Excel, when I copy my formula down, okay, this A17 will become A18, F27 will become F28. So of course, this table selection will move one step down. Same on the right side also. To avoid that, after selecting, we are supposed to apply F4. So I just pressed F4 after selecting a table array. This ensures that everywhere dollar is applied, meaning everywhere A17, F20, and all those characters and numbers are locked. Okay, this means that A will not change to any other character, F will not change, 17 as well as 27 will not change to any other thing, meaning always it remains same. So it will refer to this block of values always. So if I give a comma, next parameter is column index number. So I want to extract data for employee name. Employee name is my second field. If you see, this is the first field, employee code. This is the second field. So it's a second field of your data. So the data as in the column in your data. So if you consider employee name, it's second field, give comma and then put 0. 0 means what? false. One means true. Now, why I give him false? False means we are referring to exact match. Exact match means what? This 10,001 is supposed to be checked in this table, and wherever it finds exactly as 10,001, for that the record values to be fetched. Okay, we want Excel to look for exact information, and that's why exact match. Later on in upcoming videos, we'll see where to use this true, that is approximate match option later on. At the moment, we are referring to exact match. So that's what we give here. After closing this bracket, if I hit enter, you see that we got data for Sailesh Achar. Okay. If I drag this on the right side, we are getting data for other fields also, but then we got the same value, name of that person. So why I'm getting that? Because for data of joining, the column number will be different. It's 1, 2, 3. So whatever column number you give for that column particularly, it's going to get you data. So here I'll put 3. We got the value here. Now this is a number. It's a number format. If you want to change it to date format, Control Shift hash, that it got converted to date format. Again, if you want to understand the formats, Excel data formats properly, we have a separate video I have published there. You can refer that video by clicking on I button of this video at top. It will take you to data formats. Okay. If I come to region field, in this region field, if you see region column is 4th column. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm putting this 4 here. Okay. Then for branch, it will be 5th. We'll change this 2 to 5. And for department, it will be 6. We'll change this to 6. Okay. For all the values, we got the information. For all the fields, we got the information. After that, we are selecting the whole record. Double click on this field handle, and we're getting data for remaining records. Okay. So we typed our VLOOKUP function, and we got data for entire table. So this is how you can write a VLOOKUP function and get the data or the outputs. See, you might be aware of VLOOKUP function before this, but then if you apply these dollars, or I could say references properly, the task of retyping that VLOOKUP function again and again for every field, that is reduced, and hence the lot of time is saved. Okay, so this is one of the optimized way of using VLOOKUP function. Okay, now in this case, VLOOKUP function where we type, that is your destination table was this, and source table was here on left side of this. So very easily you can refer the data. But in the next scenario, so let me come to next sheet here. We have a database sheet where we have some data. Okay, so we have same data, but then more columns like employee code name, date of joining, region, branch, department designation, loan amount, and many records are there. There are 250 records in this. So if I come to VLOOKUP sheet, okay, I'll just remove this information. So yes, now this is a table I have. Now for this employee codes, I want to pull out data for these columns. How could we do that? Okay, so I'll show you how to apply VLOOKUP function here in better way, because we already have learned just now how to apply VLOOKUP. But in such cases where data is not on same sheet or it's on some other sheets, and if you have some bigger data, how you can make that VLOOKUP easy and how to easily apply it, okay, and use it in optimized way. That is what we're going to learn in this video. Okay, so now I will come to this VLOOKUP sheet and we'll try to apply VLOOKUP function. Now before that, see this database I want to refer in my data, in my function. So I'll do one thing. Instead of coming to this sheet and selecting that data manually, what I'll do is I'll click on this data, say Control A, and I'll give a name to it. See, I have given name as EMP data in my name box. You just have to type name of that, some name to this, and hit enter. So that name gets applied to this whole data. Okay, so now wherever you refer to EMP data as name, it will refer to this table. Okay, now come to VLOOKUP function sheet, and here we say equals VLOOKUP. Lookup value. We sometime before said that for values for which we are going to search the information, they are your lookup values. So I want information here for this particular employee course, this 10,001, that cell where that value is present, that is your lookup value. Okay, I will lock this such a way that this reference, when I copy my formula down, should come down. A2 can become A3, A4, and A5, and so on. But when I copy this function on the right side, this A2 should not become B2. So I want to lock A, and that's why dollar I have kept on A. Okay, comma, table array. Table array is a reference of your data. Now, instead of going to the database sheet and selecting the data manually, what I'll do here, we'll say data. We gave a name to it, right? EMP data name we give. So EMP data. Okay, and finally column index number. So employee name is second column. So I'll put here 2. Okay, and close the function. I was aware of that, like employee name is second column, date of joining is third. So that's why I'm able to put it properly. So if I drag this on the right side, okay, region, for region field, the field number is 4, I believe. If I hit enter, yeah, we got 4. For branch, it will be 5. Okay, for department, it will be 6. Okay, and for loan amount, it will be 8. So the moment you change these column count, okay, column numbers, you're getting proper data for the respective fields. Select all these values in one go, right from this field to this field, and double click on the field handle. You get data for all remaining records. You're getting. So this is the best way of writing VLOOKUP function. Okay, now same way I'm going to apply HLOOKUP function. If I come to the next sheet, you'll see that there's a table for which I want to extract information here. Okay, from this above table. Okay, now in this case, if you see the data is horizontal, correct? A data is horizontal in its nature. It's in the form of rows. And whenever my data is horizontal, we are supposed to apply HLOOKUP function, horizontal lookup function. How to do that? Somewhat similar way. So I'll do one thing. I'll select this whole table and give a name to it. Or because that is on same sheet and easy to select, we may avoid that task. For now, I can just say equals HLOOKUP function. Okay, lookup value will be this value, employee code. Okay. Again, I'm locking this function, this A13 such a way that A13 can become A14, A15, but when a copying function on the right side is A13 will not become B13. This reference will not move on the right side. Comma table array. For table array, we can click here on first cell and then select the whole table. How could we select? Control Shift right and down. The whole table is selected. And again, remember that is a reference. That is one kind of reference we took. So again, I pressed F4 and we locked the reference there so that when I copy function here and there, this table, what I have selected, the reference, okay, that will not move here and there. It will always refer to same block. Okay. Then comes row number. For employee name, row number is what? First, second, we put here 2 and finally 0 for exact match. Again, this 10,001 as a value, I need to check here exactly where 10,001 is appearing, and for that, then the respective values have to be fetched and populated in this table. That's what we did. If I hit enter, we got the information. Now, when I copy this on other columns, okay, we need to change the row numbers. So for region, row number is what? It's 4. So we'll change this to 4. Okay, branch, it will be 5th. We'll make it 5. For department, it will be 6. We'll make this row number as 6. And finally, loan amount will make this 8 because loan amount sits at 8 row on the upper table. If I hit enter, we got the loan amount also. And now we select all these values in one go. We double click on the fill handle to get data for all remaining records. Okay, so that is how you apply HLOOKUP function to get the information. So based on how your source table is there, whether it is vertical table or horizontal table, you need to decide whether you should be using VLOOKUP function or HLOOKUP function. Okay, so we have seen here VLOOKUP function and HLOOKUP function. Now let's add one more function to it. Let's add one more flexibility to it or easiness to it. What is that, you know? See, employee name, region, branch, department, every time when I copied my function, I went to that third parameter and I changed that number, where for employee name it was 2, for region it is 4, for branch it is 6, and so on. Then we need to go to database sheet, we need to check what is that column count and we need to add that. We need to change it manually. So if I'm extracting data for 10 to 12 columns, this task becomes difficult because you need to go to the database sheet, check the count of the respective column from your lookup value field, and then come back to the respective sheet where you are typing the function, change the column number, and then you'll get the data. It's a little bit difficult. Okay, so to make it easy, what we can do is, we can take a help of match function. Match function will help you to make this automated. How? I'll show you. So for that purpose, what I'll do is I'll remove all the formulas once. Okay, and here we'll type a simple VLOOKUP function. Say VLOOKUP, lookup value is this, which is your 10,001. Okay, A2. Now I lock it this in such a way that this A2 can become A3, A4, A5, but it cannot become B2. I have locked it in A column. Then table array. Table array, we know that it's EMP data. So I have typed EMP data as a table array. And then after this, where we give column index number, at the moment, I'm putting there 2 and finally 0, which is for exact comparison, exact match. Okay, so we got data properly for this first record, first field. And then let's make this little bit simple, like this 2, which is your column index number. Okay, if I get some function which will get that 2 automatically, it will be an easy task. It will be beneficial, right? So what function I'm going to use here, we'll be using a function called match. Okay, now how match function works, let's understand. So if I put here equals match, okay, match function is used to find row number in the given headers of data or column numbers in the headers of the given data. So in this case, in these headers, if I want to find what is a row number or column number, of course, if it is headers in vertical table, I'll be able to find the column number. So what is column number of region? What is column number of department or particular field? I can find it with the help of match function. Let's try how to use it. So if I, for example, I want to find the column number of region in this headers. How could we do that? Lookup well. Now in this case, I want to find column number of what? Column number of region. Okay, so region, this field. Okay, whatever we want to check for which we want to search the information, that becomes your lookup value. Similar thing like your VLOOKUP. So here for region, I want to do that, and that's why I selected C1, comma, lookup array. Where should I check this to find the column number? The whole table, the headers. Okay, and then if I give comma, match is exact comparison we need to do again. Okay, if I hit enter, see, it's giving you 3. So for region, it's column count as 3. Okay, now let's do one thing. We'll replace that 2, which we typed in our function, this 2, with that match function. So I'll remove 2 here and we'll put a match function here. Okay, now friends, this is one of the best practice. If you have observed here, I typed VLOOKUP function initially, complete VLOOKUP function, and then I went inside the respective parameter and I'm changing that parameter with some other additional function. Okay, so do it step by step. Don't start with this VLOOKUP and then bracket open the parameters and again another function there, open the bracket and then parameters of that particular function. It becomes difficult task. So first write your VLOOKUP function in simplest way, the way we did in initially, and then that 2 I deleted and there I'm putting this match function to get it automated. So match function. Now how to apply match function? See, lookup value. First parameter is lookup value. I want to find column number of what? Employee name. So for this, I want to find column number. That's why this becomes my lookup value. Now remember, when I'm going to copy my function down as well as on right side, I need to ensure that B1 should not become B2. It should not come down. It should remain on this when I take my function down. And when I take my function on right side, this B1 should become C1, D1. Meaning it can change the alphabets to become C1, D1, E1, and so on. But it cannot change the row number to become B2, B3, B4, because in that case, it will be an issue. Okay, I need to refer this header to find the column number. So that's why B1, comma, lookup array. I need to find the column number of this from where? In my database, these headers, I need to compare there, right? In these headers, I'll have to compare and check what is that column count and accordingly get me column number from this. Okay, so that's what we typed here. Here it is. Okay, giving comma, exact match. Now for exact match, I'll put 0. close the bracket, hit enter, and we got the data. See, now in this case, I have VLOOKUP function, and then inside that I am having match function, no manual value given anywhere, column count or row count. Okay. So if I drag this on the right side on other columns, okay, based on the column names, okay, based on column names, the match function is identifying the column number and then populating that in your function. And accordingly, your function is working to get a proper data. This is a department. So everywhere we're getting this kind of value 37 something something. Why? Let's try to understand it. So the reason for that is in database, when I selected, we didn't apply the proper freezing. Okay, this should have been locked, so that because those headers are also references only. So we need to ensure that A1 to H11, the reference to the headers should be locked. If I hit enter and if I copy this now on the right side, properly data will be obtained for the respective fields, and double click on this will get to data for remaining records. Now again hash in a why? Because in this case this B1 which we took, this reference, the header reference, okay, that's not locked. It, when I copy a function down, this is becoming B2, B3, B4. We don't want it to happen. We should lock it such a way that, okay, that B1 should not become B2, but when I copy a function on right side, it should become C1, C2, and so on. Okay, now it should work as such when I copy this on the right side, and then now if I double click, it should get data for all records. Okay, so what I did here, I have applied a match function that helps me to automatically fetch the column number from the database, and it replaces that column number in my VLOOKUP function. So not an issue now, like how many columns are there? You may have 2, 4, 10, or 50 columns. Whenever the respective columns are added, okay, automatically this function, what we have typed, will get the column number of that respective header from database, populate that in this match function, this parameter of VLOOKUP function, and then VLOOKUP will start working to get data for the respective record. Okay, so this is how you use match function. Same match function could be used with HLOOKUP also to get the row number. Here we use column number, right? Same way for HLOOKUP, you can use row number and make that function. You can use that function in better way. Okay, so I hope you like this video. If you have liked this video, share this video within your friend circles, your families, so that they can get an opportunity to learn into these things. And also, if you want to get the notification on similar videos when I publish them in future, request you to subscribe for this channel. Hope to see you again back in upcoming videos. Thank you.